What's up, YouTube? This your boy Mook, and I'm coming at y'all with another one. And you know how I like to get it started with no trolling, no hating, just keeping it 100 with your boy Mook, and I'm your boy Mook. So, starting off, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. And this one, I want to talk about the situation that's been going on, or the beef that's been going on between Jim Jones, Camron, and on this one, Juelz breaks his silence about this whole situation. So, let's hear a little bit of what he had to say.
Oh man, I definitely don't. It's not something I condone or I think. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for. I'm sitting there watching and happy that it's going on. I'm definitely not at all. Both of them are still my brothers at the end of the day. So you know, with that being said, I definitely don't like what's going on. I never liked it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wins when the family feuds. You heard? So no matter what we going through behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? But, as men, things happen and social media is so powerful and so strong now that, you know, sometimes things spill over. You know what I'm saying?
So, what Juelz was basically trying to say is, we brothers. He ain't feeling what's going on. He don't like what's going on. He hate to see that. It's not good for business. It's not good for none of that. Now, on my input, you know, that's some. I think it's a lot of egos involved in this situation. But I will say, like in my opinion of it, like punches hurt, but I think that words hit harder. Now, this is a real big thing to me. In my personal life, this is a real big thing to me. I got one of my best friends, been best friends 30 years plus. And we done had about three fist fights throughout all the years, growing up, you know what I mean? But that's still my boy. We done had, one time we had a fight, and I went back to his house, and we both, went back, chilled, like ain't nothing ever happened. Now, when we family, I think one of the worst things that you can do is talk about somebody and expose somebody's business. You know what I mean? Because that that kind of is, I ain't gonna say kind of, it can bring disloyalty. You know what I mean? Like, and I know some people that I grew up with for years and years. Get on social media, Facebook, going back and forth, talking each other's business, each other's secrets, this and that, and it's a lot of people that don't come back from that. And like I just said a few seconds ago, you can come back from a fight better than faster than you can come back from trying to publicly embarrass somebody. I know Camron said that Jim Jones wasn't, from Harlem. He was a fan. He was this. He was that. Regardless of how y'all met, y'all might not have met it for as kids, but you cannot say Dipset without saying Juelz, Camron, and Jim Jones. Not forgetting about Freaky Zeke, but a lot of people. I'm going off of myself. When I think of Dipset, those are the three people that I automatically go to. And one of my favorites in all three is Juelz. And I did like, when Juelz was going through his personal things that he was going through, I did like how his brothers stuck by his side, especially Jim. You know what I mean? Nobody likes to see family go back and forth with each other. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of the fact, like, my birth certificate says New York City, but I grew up in Ohio. My mother messes with me all the time because she still lives in New York, in the Bronx actually. And I go up there and go see her, and she be like, "You ain't no New Yorker," and I'm be like, "Okay, I'm from Ohio," and ain't nothing wrong with that. But I seen an interview that Jim Jones did where he was saying that, that he was a soldier, and if you go all the way back to, Cameron's first album, on that Sex, Drugs, Education, like, and he was that's the first album I know. No, I'm not sure if that's his very first album, but Jim Jones was in a video. He wasn't rapping. He wasn't doing none of that. But by the time the Dipset movement came, the Diplomat movement came, that all of them was very active. Jim Jones was very active, and I think that he's had a hell of a career. I'm a big fan of Jim Jones. You know what I mean? Like, I'm also a big fan of Camron. I'm a big fan of Dipset, period. I still, to this day, right now, might throw in Diplomatic Community, might turn on Come Home With Me. You know what I mean? Like one of my favorite joints by Jim Jones is Honey Dip. Like I'm a fan of their time. Like I was in high school when the Dipset got real big, and it wasn't nothing like it. I still today ain't heard nothing like it. Even when it's funny because when they did the versus battle against the Locks, I honestly thought um, that Dipset would destroy them just because it was song for song. They had a lot of anthems, a lot of hits, but unfortunately, the Lock stage presence, they 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 got on them. But and just in this situation, I hate to see family feud. I got some of my family members that I'm like that I don't mess with for real over these same things. But I do say this: this might be some publicity for something that's coming. We've seen it happen with the Hot Boys. They went back and forth on the internet for about a year. They had diss tracks, they had this, and it actually brought them back out in the limelight. And there's a lot of people that that was anticipating that wanted to see them anyway, but it made people more eager. You know what I mean? It put them back out here in today's time. So you never know. We might see some new music from these guys. Camron had his podcast. It's already doing quite well. Jim Jones is putting out new music. Juelz is putting out new music. Like so, this can very well be some publicity for advertisement or production, something that they got coming. But going back to what I was saying, I hate to see family beef, especially what I mean when we talking about trying to embarrass people. It's people saying dick riding, you a sucker, you don't ran from this, you don't ran from that. Like I said, all that ain't always necessary. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fan of all of them, and like going back to what I said is, you can come back from a fight faster than you can come back from words. It's some people that say the wrong thing or tell something personal. That's why me myself, I'm very careful who I tell my personal business to. You know what I mean? Something that I feel like if they repeated this or came back to me, or this came back to me like that, it will mess with me, and it will make me lose trust, and it will let me know where we at as friends. But family, you like I said, you cannot say Dipset without saying all these brothers. You know what I mean? They created a major movement. They're still running into today. So with that, leave something in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this situation. I wanted to talk about it. It's been going on for quite some time, but I wanted to get it over and talk about it. So with that, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment. I'm out. Peace. Boy Mook.